noticed how no one is actually ever the villain in the story? How nobody ever wants to accept or just to take accountability and be like, oh, okay, they did one, two, and three to me, but also I had a role in the situation and I was wrong by doing one, two, and three. Like, it's something that I was thinking of, that most of the time when you hear someone talk about like a bad experience that they had, or if something terrible happened to them or somebody treated them bad, right? It's always they did this to me, they did that to me, but then it's hardly ever a combination of both, that, oh, okay, this person did one, two, and three, but I also contributed to the situation by acting a specific way. So I think one thing that made me think about this whole situation, right? It was the fact that I just remembered like a couple of years ago. I was still fresh, not even a couple of years, it's more than a couple of years. But fresh out of high school, and life is a bit different. And for me, the last few years of high school, I spent most of the time indoors. I would just go to school, come back, that's it. So I didn't have friends outside of school, right? So outside of school, it meant that now when I have to go study and all of those things, so I have to make friends, right? And yeah, I did try, but then I feel like at the time I was still a bit closed off. So I still spent most of the time alone, right? And the people that I was around, I didn't really necessarily consider my friends because of, I feel like there was just no connection. You get it? So for me, it was more of, oh, we're just acquaintances, right? So then it happened that I met a couple of people, and one of them was like, okay, why is it that you don't have friends? I think you might be the problem because you don't have friends. So maybe you are the red flag. And my response was that we might never know. So, and then as time went on, okay, fine, we hang out, we're friends, it's good. I guess we had, let me say, like a few disagreements. Like, yeah, I can call it disagreements because it was never anything serious. But then, other than that, yeah, the friendship was okay. And after a while, you kind of, I don't know, we drift apart and we go on to live our separate lives and we move to different places. So, yeah, that's how the friendship kind of ended, because we're both moving in different directions. But, like, for a while, right, there would be moments or times that I would literally question myself, that what if you actually the problem, right? What if you're the one who is toxic in most of your friendships, right? Because why is it that everyone has a problem with you? And then now I'm like, okay, I decided to do something, and I did this like a couple of months back, right? I texted someone that I was friends with before, but then I won't say that the friendship ended on bad terms or anything. Did it end? I think we kind of drifted apart, like same situation, that we moved to different places, so we're moving in different directions. Yeah, so we kind of drifted apart. That was it. And then now, after a while, we get to talk like on WhatsApp. We are reconnected, but then it's just not that consistent, you know. We talk like once in a while. And then, like, fine, I decided to ask the person that, okay, was I a bad friend? Like, was I, like, really that bad? Am I toxic? And then the person was like, no, you're not a bad person. You know, I'm like, I'm asking because it's like, I end up feeling like I'm the problem in my friendships. And then it's like, no, if people don't appreciate you, then you don't need to have them in your life, da 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 da. And so now I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe let me try to kind of rekindle the friendship, right? And like to just like try to put in the effort into the friendship again to see where it will go. And you could see by the way the person was responding after that, oh, they're not interested in being your friend. It was just that kind of situation that it's not you, it's me. Do you get what I'm saying? That, okay, yeah, I'm not a bad person, but then the person doesn't want to be friends with me anymore. You get it? There's nothing wrong with me. And I was a bit hurt by that. But then I kind of understand it too, because there's certain friendships that I felt like I was out of place. Like I felt like, okay, I don't belong here, I don't fit in here, and I'm forcing, and me forcing here, it's gonna end up being toxic for everyone, right? And I just don't want to ruin everyone's mood. And I would just, I don't know, I'll just slowly distance myself without saying anything. And they would also distance themselves, because it's also not fair on other people having to accommodate you each and every single time because you don't like specific things, or you don't react the way that they would actually want you to react. And another thing about me is that back then I used to be too much of a people pleaser, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot on my channel. But then, yeah, I was a big people pleaser, right? So, like, I would apologize a lot to people, even when they are wrong. I didn't do anything, but then I was always apologizing. I was always trying to take accountability for my actions, and I feel like that also made me look stupid even more, right? Like the moment I do something, like if I unintentionally hurt someone, right? And then the moment I realize it, like it will make me feel so bad, like it's gonna bother me. So literally I have to go and apologize, because I just don't like I just don't like the feeling of knowing that, okay, I did something bad to someone, right? It's like now I'm putting myself in their shoes, that I wonder how this person felt when I did 1, 2, and 3. So like I used to apologize a lot, and I used to take accountability a lot, and I feel like that also made people to take advantage of me even more, because it's like you apologizing in situations where you are actually the victim. So it's like I'm here apologizing for things that I didn't do, right? You are sitting there and forgiving people for things that they didn't even say sorry for. That was just more or less me. But what I want to say is that I kind of understand the problem now. The problem is that, in the same way, like when it comes to relationships, that when you keep on dating the same type of men, same type of toxic, cheaters and whatsoever, it's a cycle, because you attract, you see, what you want. Do I even make sense? Yeah, like it's like you have this thing of attracting the same men in different bodies. I feel like it's the same thing with friendships too. It's like you are there attracting the same kind of friends, right, in different bodies. Like you are so used to having this specific kind of friendship, so that's what you gravitate towards. And also because you're still an unhealed version of yourself, so your unhealed version of yourself will always attract toxic friends, will always attract friends who don't like you, friends who pretend, friends who would rather embarrass you or humiliate you, right? Because a good friend, like I feel like healed people, right, they gravitate towards people who are healed. And what I mean by that is that if you're a healed version of yourself, you're going to be able to see when something is wrong. You are going to be able to see that, okay, this is not what I want for myself. Okay, people who are healed, they have standards, they know what they are looking for, right? Versus when you're unhealed and also you're a people pleaser, you're just gonna fall for whatever that's out there. It's like, oh, okay, they wanna be my friend. Oh, that's a good thing. You get it? Because when I look at myself now, it's like my my friendship standards are too high. Like they're very high. At this point, I feel like it might take forever for me to have friends, and I'm not even looking. If they come, they come. But then I'm just saying that my standards are too high, because now I understand what I want, right? I know what I expect from a friend. So that's why for me, I feel like this whole thing of low maintenance friendships, I am not doing that ever. You will not see me do that, because I feel like I've always been the low maintenance friend, right? And I feel like there's always the one who's always giving too much in a low maintenance friendship, and there's always the one who's getting too much, right? So it's not like both parties benefit. So imagine you sitting there, you're friends with this person, and then you guys it happens that, oh, okay, you haven't spoken in like 6 months, and then 6 months later they text you, hi, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good, whatsoever. And then now they ask you the question, so what has been happening in your life? And then now you have to give them a 6 month debrief of everything that happened in your life. Like that, oh, I went through that, and that happened, Yo, that's a lot. Like honestly, it's a lot. And then now when they feel like, okay, they have filled up their cup by speaking to you and getting to know what's happening in your life, and then they move on with their life, and they're gonna come back again after 6 months. Like it's I don't know. That's how I see it. Because also, okay, it's not gonna be one way. Like they also gonna tell you about their lives, but then they're gonna tell you stuff that they feel like they are worthy of bragging. That's what I think. That, oh, so I got married, right? And I gave birth to my daughter, and I bought myself a car, and I got a new job. I just started a new business. And then you're like, how? Wow, congratulations, friend. That is so nice. Imagine. How are you my friend if you're not there at my wedding? You get it? So it's a bit crazy. And also one conversation that I was having with my mom the other day, it was the fact that I don't congratulate people. I don't do that anymore. And the reason why I don't do that anymore is that, and it's like when I mean people, I mean like people that at some point we were close, right? We were close and then we drifted apart, or for some weird reason, especially the ones who switched up on me. Those ones I do not even congratulate. I don't. And also, if something happens in your life, right, and you don't tell me about it, so it means that you did not want me to know. So now, when you post it on social media, why should I say congratulations? Am I your fan? Do I look like a fan? I'm not. So that's why, like, I don't have time to be congratulating people. And then my mom was like, "No, you must say congratulations. You must." I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that. I don't have time for that. Like, honestly, I don't. I don't." And also, one thing I don't like is this thing of people, they tell you stuff like when it's, like 3 or 4 months later, right? And then they're like, "Oh, do you know that I also had a child like 4 months ago? So what must I do? What must I do? Like, do I look like I care?" Like, that's what my sentiment is that if you felt like at the time it was not important for you to tell me, so why should it be important, like, to tell me now? Like, that's always like my sentiments around that. Okay, so I feel like right now I went a bit off track from where I actually started, right? But I feel like in some way, when you take accountability for your own actions, right, and you try to understand your role in something, right, that's when it actually helps you to actually do better the second time, or when you find yourself in a similar situation again. Because it's like, if, like, for example, I feel like people, you train people how to treat you. You are the one who teach people how to treat you, right? So if you show people that, oh, okay, you can do something bad to me, right? You can offend me, and I'm just gonna, look the other way. Then you're showing them that they can be comfortable in doing that over and over and over again, right? If you show people that, oh, okay, I'm willing to do anything and whenever that you want me to do for you, then that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna take advantage of that. That, okay, I know that Precious will always do 1, 2, and 3, right? I know that I can count on her to do what I want her to do. So basically, you have trained them, right, by what you are actually willing to tolerate. That, okay, this is how I am, this is what I'll tolerate from you. So you are literally training them on how to actually treat you, right? So that's why I'm saying that you can be a victim in a situation, but then in some way, like, you end up being the one who allows what people do to you. That the moment you see that, okay, this situation is not good for me, right, you leave the situation. But then if you sit there longer, right, and you keep on tolerating even more, you keep on tolerating even more, and they're going to keep on doing it even more. And also another thing is that even just good, genuine people, right, they can get comfortable, right? And when they're comfortable, they can do stuff to unintentionally hurt you, right? Because you've gotten them used to that. That, okay, Precious will always do that. That, okay, I'm always gonna be late every time I have to meet up with Precious, and Precious will not have a problem with it. It's gonna be like, okay, it's fine. You get it? So, but then when you teach people that I don't tolerate late coming, right? I'm not gonna deal with that. You are 5 minutes late, I'm gonna leave. You see? So they're gonna make sure that they respect your time. So I feel like that's where my sentiment is on this, is that at the end of the day, don't, like, this thing of focusing too much on being a victim, it doesn't help you with anything at the end of the day. Yeah, fine, you can be a victim. Yeah, just accept that you're a victim and just move on with life so that you can get better. See your own mistakes, learn from your mistakes, do better next time, right? And also another thing for me, like for the longest of time, right, I've never had the victim mindset. Like I don't like being a victim. It's like I'm the type of person, right, that you can do something bad to me, like really, really bad. Something bad. You see, like you see the hit, like the one that you did not see coming. Like you see a TKO, like when you aim at something and then you hit it and you take it out, you really knock it down in the ground or on the ground, right? Like you see those kind of situations, right? I get up like it's nothing. Like I'll get up from the dust and I will clean myself up and move on like it's nothing. And the reason for me doing that is that I've always had this idea that, okay, fine, I don't want to look like my problems, right? Yes, I'm hurt, but then I have to get up and move on. Like I feel like I've lived most of my life on survival mode. I'm always trying to survive. Just try to deal with whatever situation that, oh, okay, this happened, but then let me try to pull myself together so that I can show up for the things that I need to show up for. But the problem is still there. I'm not even healing from it. Yeah, I've always been like that. Like I've never really liked being the victim. And also another reason why that I've never really liked being the victim, because it's like the people who would mostly offend me, it is people who are more or less like narcissists, like very manipulative, that they can turn a situation look like, oh, I'm the one who's in the wrong and they are right. And at the time, like I didn't know how to like handle my emotions. So the way I would react to you lying about a situation, it might end up making me look like I'm the wrong one. So that's why I ended up not, just not explaining that, oh, I'm wrong whatsoever. Because I remember this one time, right? It was, I was still in high school. Oh, yeah, I think it was high school. Yeah. So I was friends with this other person, right? And then it happened that, there was some bit of drama and, they did a lot of stuff, right? Let's just put it like that. And then their other friend, actually their other best friend, decided to text me and ask me that, okay, what's going on with the situation? Because my friend is calling me and telling me that you did 1, 2, and 3. And I'm explaining my side of the story that, okay, this is what happened. You get it. I didn't do anything. And then it's like now the person is now caught in between, right? Like she doesn't know who to believe. And my response to her was that I understand that you can't take sides and you shouldn't take sides, because your friend is the other person. I'm not your friend, right? We know each other because we are we are best friends with the same person, right? And I don't expect you to believe my story, but one day you will understand. You will see it for yourself, right? Because at the moment, I am the victim, right? At the moment, the focus is on me. You know what happened next? Like a few years later, they ended up having a fallout. Like literally the same situation, the same old behavior from the same person. So I feel like also, like, if you see a person treat their friend a certain way and you still continue being friends with that person, you yourself are crazy too. Like, don't put yourself in that situation. So yeah, that's what happened in that situation. And you know what's even worse is that the person hasn't changed. Even still today, they still act the same way. Because as I'm sitting here right now, they have some sort of drama going on and they don't think that there's anything wrong with them. They don't see anything wrong with their behavior, right? They think that they are a girl's girl and people are always trying to offend them, but then they don't think about the things that they do to people, right? So I find it very weird, like when you're able to do stuff to people, right? Like when you have friends, like when you're friends with someone and then you treat them bad, you're friends with someone and then the next thing you're texting their boyfriend, you're friends with someone, you gossip about them, like you do all of these horrible stuff, right? And then when people don't want to be friends with you, or when people do the same thing to you, now you want to cry, but then you started it, right? Karma. You get it? Is that you do stuff to people but then you don't want it to be done to you. Like, that's crazy. Like it's honestly crazy. That's what I was thinking about. So I feel like the bottom line for this conversation is just to say that in life, like always take accountability, and taking accountability, you're not doing it for the benefit of anyone, but you're doing it for the benefit of your life and for the quality of the life that you deserve to live, because you only have one life. There's no other life that you're gonna live. So you have to make sure that you make the most of it and you enjoy your days, right? Because how do you enjoy your days when you're always caught up in some sort of drama, or you're always having to deal with, like, I don't know, you crying over something, you have to heal over a problem that happened 2 days ago, and then 4 days later there's something else that's happening again. Yeah, like for me, I do believe that there is some people who like being the victim. They just like being the victim, right? And it's like right now I'm so quick to see people who like being the victim, like who have this victim mindset. I'm so quick to see them. And also, one other thing is that I used to make a lot of mistakes back then. And one of the mistakes that I made in friendships was being friends with someone because, oh, they know they're going through stuff and people don't want them, and feeling sorry for the person, thinking that no, you're just gonna be the supportive friend because, oh no, they're going through stuff. Yeah, that person will take you through hell and back. And I'm speaking from experience, because this is also another thing that happened in high school, that I met this other girl, fine, and then we became friends, right? But when I met her, like there was a whole lot of drama, like around her, right? And then fine, we were talking, it was cool, and then we'd visit each other because we didn't live in the same area. And then it happened that at school I had another friend, which I told, I'm like, oh, I met this girl. She said that she knows you, da 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 da. You get it. She was actually dating someone who's close to my friend from school, right? And my friend from school was like, you can never be friends with that person. Don't be friends with her. She's too toxic. Too, like, she likes being a victim. She's always crying about something. And then I was like, ah, okay, cool. But you know what I did? I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I thought, ah, maybe, when we all going through something, we make bad choices. Who was I fooling? Fine, I'm friends with this person, and then things, they start to slowly like fall apart throughout the years. Like, it didn't happen instantly. And then we ended up having a situation where, like, it was just like a small thing, like it was just a little thing which turned into a big thing, right? And I tried to really handle it in the best way possible, but then the person was not having it. Like, her main goal was just to, I don't know, to belittle me, humiliate me, embarrass me. So I wasn't about that life. Like, I just wasn't about that life. And still, even after that situation, I didn't hate the person, right? I don't know, I feel like maybe I kind of had a soft spot for her, because, like, when I went home, like a few weeks ago, right? I saw the person, and the way she looked at me, yo, I'm telling you, she really hates me for no reason. But honestly, it's cool. It's cool. So that's one thing I'm never gonna do to myself. I'm never gonna be friends with a victim. Like, with someone with a victim mindset, because I feel like victims are as toxic as the villains. Like, a victim can easily turn into a villain, right? Because a victim, if you're a victim of something and you're living in trauma, like, in some way you are swimming in toxicity, so you're going to be toxic to those around you, right? And I feel like I don't want to be around such things, right? I don't owe anyone any form of loyalty. Like, it's not my job to heal anyone. I'm not God, right? And also, you can't expect or try to encourage somebody to heal when they don't feel the need to actually heal. Because there's some people who are living like the crappiest of life. They keep on going through bad stuff. It's like they attract bad luck, like it's nothing, and they see what's wrong with their lives, but then they don't want to change it. They don't want to take the steps towards being better and living a better life, right? And when you are on the other side and you are working towards being better and bettering your life, you're gonna look like as if you are trying to make them feel bad for the way that they are. You become a threat in some way. Like, you become a mirror that, like, is that a mirror? Yeah. Or you become a reflection of what's good, right? Versus what they are living. It's like now they do want the benefits of the life that you are living, the healed life, right? But then they don't want to do the work to get there. Do I kind of make sense? Yeah, so like in some way you end up being like a threat. I don't know if this video makes sense because I just decided to just record, but I hope that you enjoyed the video, or I don't know, hopefully that you can relate to some of the stuff that I'm mentioning. Thank you so much for watching it, and please ensure that you like, you comment, and you subscribe until we meet again on the next video.